Do you find music scales and key signatures confusing? Many music students simply learn notes and don't really understand the use of key signatures or scales. Even those that do can find them difficult to understand. When students take the time to fully understand these two music elements, their ability to learn, compose, and play music increases multifold. Let's look at key signatures to start. We'll call them keys for short. They're grouped into two categories, major and minor. The C major key has no sharps or flats. This is the easiest to understand when you look at just the white keys on a piano. There are 7 key signatures with sharps built by adding one additional sharp at a time. The same goes for flat notes. That's 15 major key signatures in all. Minor key signatures look just like major key signatures. They start a minor third below the major key signature. By starting, I mean the associated scale notes will start on the named key. In this example, you can see 3 sharps in the key of A major. That also represents the key of F sharp minor. Most beginning music students only learn a few key signatures. In the key signature workshop, you learn how to produce your own circle of fifths. This is a tool used to show the relationship of key signatures both in developing the major keys and the minor keys. There are several tips and techniques used to learn key signatures this way. You can get the big picture of music. Simply trying to study one of these diagrams will help. Actually producing one yourself based on knowledge is the key to mastery. Whether it's a C major or A minor, an A major or F sharp minor, or a D flat major or B flat minor, understanding key signatures is the first step in learning new songs. When you begin with key signatures, you start the basis of adding scales and chords. It's the starting point of an organized music structure. Learning scales is a critical part of learning music. Scales are the foundation for playing songs, playing melodies, creating chords, figuring out harmonic systems, or improvising. Scales are developed by assigning a numerical value, an interval, to each note from the base or root note. The scales will use the numbers 1 through 8 and will have one number for each note in the scale, each representing an interval. The C major scale shows the notes in the interval numbers. Mathematically, the major scale is produced using a specific formula of whole and half steps. If we start with S as the starting position, you can add whole and half steps to construct a scale. You can create all major scales using this formula by simply starting with any note and applying the formula. Because scales are mathematical, changing the formula gives you other types of scales, such as minor scales. These formulas have specific conditions applied to certain notes of the major scale. There are 3 minor scales related to the major scale. Learning these scales allows for composition and improvisation in the styles of classical and jazz. There are also a number of other scale types and are used in different styles of music. You've heard of the blues. Well, there are 2 scales that are based around the blues style. Here you see both the A blues scale and the related C gospel scale. Other scales include whole tone, pentatonic, diminished, and scale modes. Thinking of trying to learn all those key signature scales doesn't have to scare you. Using the workshop, you can learn the fundamentals and relationships of key signatures and scales by creating your own tools. You'll master the music elements in no time and improve your skill as a musician. Everyone thinks scales are for practice, but that's not true. Learning these scales types early in your musical development will enable you to understand how music works and make your music learning journey a whole lot easier. Knowing key signatures and learning the principles and math of scales will provide you with a skill set that will get you well on your way to learning and mastering music easier. The Keys and Scales Workshop is a fundamentals music lesson and practice workshop for beginners to intermediate students. Every new music student should learn these musical elements as early as possible.